Alright guys, in this video we're going to graph exponential function. And so here we have the function g of x equals to 3 to the power x minus 6. So what I like to do usually is use the graphing tool. And since we're going to graph the exponential function in its asymptote, first I'm going to start with the exponential function. So I am going to just click the exponential tool and click anywhere on the grid. Okay, now I am given just a plain exponential function. Now what I'm going to do is apply the transformation that is happening to the function, right? So since it says 3 to the power x and then minus 6, what that means is that the whole graph is being shifted downwards 6 units. Okay, that minus 6 is not in the exponent, which means it's outside of it, therefore it's a vertical transformation. Then I'm going to graph the asymptote, and if you remember, the asymptote is going to be a horizontal line, which is y equals whatever number is out there being added or subtracted, as long as that number is not in the exponent, right? So you're going to select the line tool and you're going to make 2 dots. Now where you're going to make those 2 dots is going to be here at the value -6. Okay, because the graph is approaching that value but is never really quite touching it, so therefore we got to put it in dashed line or dotted line to symbolize that. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but here's that dotted line at y equals -6, and here's the exponential graph of 3 to the power x minus 6. So I'm going to check, make sure that we're doing correct. Perfect. Then the next thing that we're doing is typing the equation of the asymptote for the equation. So since it says type an equation, what we're going to do is say y equals whatever this value here is, in other words, -6. Okay, then we're going to type in the domain, right? So the domain is going to be which x values are you allowed to plug in, or over which x values does the graph happen, right? And so this happens between -infinity and +infinity, right? So it should look like something like I have on there on the screen. Okay, then we're going to type in the range. So the range again is going to be a order pair, and so it happens from the value -6. Well, -6 is going to be in parentheses, right? So it's not actually part of the range, and it goes all the way up to +infinity, right? So we read it from the bottom up. From the bottom, we first encounter the value -6, and then the graph just goes on forever. Okay, so that was that example. Let's do the next one. This one's a little bit more interesting, right? We have 3 to the power x plus 2, and then outside of the exponent plus 2. Again, I'm going to hit the graphing tool, and then first I'm going to start with the exponential graph. Click anywhere. So I have 2 transformations to take care of. On the exponent side, I have a +2, which means horizontal transformation of 2 units to the left. Okay, and then the +2 happening outside of the parenthesis, outside of the exponent, means it's upwards 2 units, and that's it. I don't have to change the base. or anything because it's already base 3, which is the base here. Then, since I still need to graph the asymptote, I am going to graph 2 points here, which make a horizontal line right at the value y equals 2. Then I'm going to turn it into a dotted line so that it represents the value that it's approaching but never quite getting. Okay, then I'm going to check and make sure. Alright, then we're going to type in the equation of the asymptote. Once again, it's a horizontal line, so it's going to be a y equals equation, so y equals 2. Then we're going to type the domain, which is which x values can we plug in, or over which x values does the graph happen. And so it happens all the way from the left to all the way in the right. Okay, so from negative infinity to positive infinity. And then we're going to type in the range, and the range is going to be which y values or which outputs can we actually get. So if I go from the bottom all the way up, first value that I encounter is the value 2, not including, right? And then all the way up to infinity.